You're tuned in to Ask the Master Auto Technician. Car questions? Get answers right now. Call 850-763-0555.
James Auto Center, we fix it right, guaranteed. Beep, 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 yeah.
All right, welcome back to the show. I got Brian Armstead. Brian, how are we doing this morning?
It's a little early for me here, James.
Where you
Left
at?
Coast.
Oh, you did decide to call. You called me last night and said you were going to Washington State. And what are you doing out there?
I'm going to be, in about 6 hours, I'll be test driving the new 2017 Infiniti QX30. It's a small premium crossover, and Infiniti's doing some real good things these days, so I'm kind of excited to get behind the wheel. This thing has a small turbocharged motor. It's a 2-liter turbo. The output is over 200 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. Dramatically styled. I mean, Infiniti has gone, I don't want to say, they've really cleaned up their designs, is what I want to say. Some of the designs, they were always nice designs, but now they've really put a sharp pencil and kind of really defined themselves. I think Lexus sometimes is all over the map. Some designs are hits and some designs are misses. Well, I guess you could say that with any car company.
Sure.
But I think Infiniti is one of the Japanese car companies that really has a clear design focus. And Japanese tend to be a little creative. I mean, it's part of their culture. They are into anime and they're into a lot of different things. And sometimes that comes out in the design of their automobiles. They almost look like rolling video arcades.
I was going to say, I mean, hear me about all this Pokemon thing. I have no idea what this Pokemon thing is, but, everyone's talking about it. When you said video games in Japanese, that's the first thing that popped in my mind, this Pokemon game that people are running all over the country trying to do with their cars and getting it. But anyway, so tell me a little bit about this Infiniti. You're saying Japan did something different on this, and this is a division of Nissan. The Infiniti am I saying that correctly?
It's Nissan's premium brand. Toyota has Lexus. General Motors has Cadillac. Mercedes has Maybach.
I didn't know that. I had no idea. Yeah. That's a Mercedes division. Maybach is.
Yeah, it's their ultra premium brand. I mean, Mercedes is already a premium brand. It's their ultra premium brand. So a lot of the car companies have these. Pardon me.
That's all right. It's real early out there in Washington State.
It's 4:17 in the morning.
Sorry.
But it's just their premium brand. I think that I think this car is really going to be a big hit. It's a small crossover. I haven't visually seen it yet, so I'm going by press photos that are on the InfinityUSA.com website. But you take the shoulder line, for example. Folks, the shoulder line is that line along the side of the car that kind of defines, you don't typically have just a flat panel on the doors or on the front fenders. There's usually some kind of crease that helps define the styling profile of the car.
Right.
And that's called the shoulder line. Well, this car, James, the shoulder line actually starts right at the front grille, and then it kind of bends out and over the front fender in a very dramatic fashion. Nice curvature to the front fender. And then it dips on the doors, and then it rises back. By the time you get back to the C-pillar on the car, if you think of the windshield as the A-pillar and the space between the doors as the B-pillar, and the rear of the car as the C-pillar, and some cars even have D-pillars, then it's a very swoopy, stylish type of affair. And then there's a lower cowling on the lower part of the door. Probably an insurance nightmare to repair, but a very stylish execution of a visually exciting looking automobile. 19-inch wheels are available. A number of leather interior options are available. So I'm really looking forward to taking this thing out in a couple of hours. And when I get back to Baltimore tomorrow, or when I get back home tomorrow, I fly into Baltimore, I'll have a 2017 Chevrolet Volt waiting for me. And for those who are into green technology, the Chevy Volt is probably the way to go, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not only does it have electric power that you can cruise along with, it's got a battery that will take you 53 miles on battery power only, but it also, it has that generator, the 1.5 liter generator motor that will take you across country. I mean, this is a vehicle that you can drive across country and not have to worry about, running out of juice, because the onboard motor actually recharges the battery. So you can drive 1,000 miles between fill-ups of gasoline with regular charging.
Wow.
So, I mean, think about that, 1,000 miles.
So only 3 tanks of gas to go from California to New York.
There you go.
That's yeah, that's incredible to believe. But think about, that's what I was thinking about, Brian. You've been doing this for a long time, and I have too. Imagine the 4-cylinder cars of 15, 20 years ago. The idea of you getting in a luxury car that was a 4-cylinder it would shock you if someone told you that 15 years ago. You're putting a 4-cylinder in a luxury car, an anemic engine, but the
Hold on. I'll do you one better,
no,
James.
Go ahead.
I'll do you one better. How about a 4-cylinder in an F-150?
Okay, yeah. They got a 4. Have they done that yet? Or
yes.
They've already got a 4-cylinder in F-150?
It's a 4-cylinder EcoBoost, and the thing, it gets up really nicely.
EcoBoost gets up and goes. That's a gasoline direct injection engine. They got lots of power. Yes.
I mean, these 4-cylinder motors out today are really impressive. I had a chance before I got on the plane yesterday to preview the 2017 Hyundai Elantra Sport. And it's got a 2-liter turbo that sounds like a freaking Ferrari engine, man. It's just, it's tuned for some get up and go. So there's a lot of good stuff out there.
It is. You're absolutely right. To get up, who would have ever thunk that you get a 4-cylinder with over 200 horsepower years ago? But these direct injection engines are wonderful as far as power. The only thing, we were in class last night, and the only thing that our instructor was saying is you'd better inform the customer that at least once a year they need to make sure they clean the carbon off by adding a intake valve cleaner down the intake and letting it clean that off. If not, you're going to turn into a maintenance nightmare that could happen.
Well, yeah.
And it's just a little bit more maintenance, but they're great engines. They are fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you find that in some of the big engines also. The Audi V8, for example, is prone to carbonization, carbon buildup on the heads. And to decarbonize the heads on an Audi, it's $1,000 process. I mean, it's quite expensive.
Yeah, it sure is.
What I do is I use a product called Chevron Techron, their fuel system cleaner. And then, every once in a while, folks, the old adage of you got to blow it out, it really holds true. You got to get out there. And I'm not advocating you going down the road at 100 miles an hour, but when you accelerate sometimes, just put some foot in it. Let the car know that, hey, you're alive, and you got a big old heavy right foot. And go from 0 to 60 as quickly as you can go, and then do the speed limit. But you gotta exercise your motor, or you're just asking for products. They're not designed to be driving Miss Daisy. They're designed to run.
They are designed to run. It is amazing the engine technology that's come out there. Now, you gave a report one time on the Challenger Hellcat, the 707 horsepower. How, and comparatively speaking, I've had people ask me this, when someone was saying, doesn't it have 3 modes or 2 modes where you can, normal driving, super driving, and super duper driving? And I'm going, I don't know. I need to ask Brian about that, but.
Well, it does. It has the full 707 horsepower mode, and then it has valet mode. So, if you give your keys to someone else for whatever reason, valet parker or service professional,
or
they don't kind of go Yahoo in your automobile. So, it has those 2 modes.
Oh, okay.
Now, in terms of the 707 horsepower, you can select from different operating parameters. You have track mode, which sets your car up for optimum shift points, and it enhances the suspension parameters. That's individual dialing in of the car for street drag racing or for on-track racing. But as far as power modes, you have the red key and the black key. It comes with two key fobs.
Yeah, I
the
remember.
red key is for 707 horsepower. The car will recognize that you have the red key fob. If you have the black key fob, it automatically cuts it back. It drops a couple of hundred horsepower off the car and makes it like a normal. I can't remember the exact number, but it's like it literally cuts it almost in half.
Wow.
But even a 345 horsepower car is a monster.
Yes, it is. That's what I was just amazed. You know, like that's a lot of horsepower. But these big engine cars and these even these little four-cylinder direct injection engines, they go from 0 to 60 super duper fast. What would you say?
Yeah.
What would you say? 0 to 60 in what? 5 seconds? 6 seconds? I mean, is that too slow?
Well, for the Hellcat?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, it's a 4 second,
Wow.
3-4 second car. It's mind bending. Let me look it up real quick as we speak. But it's a mind bending acceleration. I mean, to experience 707 horsepower is really quite an experience.
Well, I remember when I was a kid experiencing 370 horsepower in a 350 cubic inch Chevrolet. I thought it was a mind-bending experience. And here you are telling me here's a V8 that's putting out twice that horsepower. I just can't even grasp that concept. And it's probably hooked up to a 6-speed transmission as well. So
I think and again, so many cars, so many bits of technology. I believe the Hellcat has a new 7-speed.
Oh, 7-speed. Excuse me.
It's 3.6 seconds, 0 to 60.
Whoa! That's twice as fast as any car out there that I'm aware of. That's just.
Well, I mean, you've got your exotics, which will.
Yeah, well, who can afford them? I can't afford them. Maybe,
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
Here you are. Oh, it's an 8-speed automatic.
Oh.
6-speed manual. You got a 6-speed manual or an 8-speed automatic.
Wow, that's hard to believe. That's a lot of horsepower. It really is.
So, 6-speed, 707 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 and 3.6 with the automatic, and 0 to 60 and 3.9 with the manual. And you remember back in the day, a manual was always the faster way to go. But
Always.
These new dual clutch transmissions are so lightning quick that nobody out there, I don't care who you are, you can be Lewis Hamilton, you could be one of the NASCAR pros. You can't outshift a dual clutch automatic. I don't care how good you are.
It's what you're telling me. That's incredible. It really is.
Yeah, it's just some real good stuff out there, James.
Well, I appreciate your calling. We're up against the clock. We got to go. And I really appreciate you calling. Yes. Tell me what
next week I'll be in Miami for a conference, but it's on East Coast time, so I should be able to carve out
7:15
time next week. We're going to talk about this new Infiniti QX30 that I'll be driving a little bit later today, James.
Sounds great. Brian, thank you so much. We'll talk to you next week. All right, everybody. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.
James Auto Center, we fix it right, guaranteed. Beep, 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 yeah.